Hey, what's going on guys, Ash here, and welcome to my review, my recap, my discussion of Gozyuger episode 4. Now, for the past couple of reviews, I've been doing these on camera, but recently I'm going to be doing these off camera because I went back and I rewatched my episode 4 review, recap discussion of Gozyuger episode 4 while being on camera, and it was a mess. It was a mess. I made mistakes, I stumbled over my words, I got things wrong, and I feel like it's better to do this off camera, so that way it's a lot more easier and more simpler for me to edit. So think of this as a little podcast that you'll get where I'll have a PNG and me talking into the mic for a little bit, and that way you can have me on in the background. I might return to being on camera for future videos, but for now, I'm going to go back to the original format where it was for my previous Toku reviews where it was just me talking in front of an image. So it's going to be downgraded for the quality a little bit, so I do apologize. So, Gozyuger episode 4. This was another fantastic episode as we were introduced to our Green Ranger, Kinjiro. Now, last week's episode, the big reveal was that Kinjiro was an old man, which was a big difference from how we had seen our Green Ranger from all the press releases and stuff like that, where it was this young party dude that we've heard about from all the character bios and stuff like that. But the whole reason why the Green Ranger is an old man, well, because he is an old man. He's an old man that he made a deal with Take a Sword to relive his party days in a way. He wants to join the party people, as they call it. So he's been given a second chance of life to live his life again. And the Green Ranger is quite the interesting old man because he's just been living the life, but he's been living a boring life. He just does his day-to-day things. He's been living a life for other people, but he hasn't been living the life that he's been wanting to live. So he's been kind of a boring old man. And this does have a strain on his relationship with his grandson, who he's attending the same school with. And he does meet up with his grandson, and his grandson says, I don't want to be like my grandfather. That's like a boring life. And it does upset Kinjiro when he learns about that. He's like, wow, am I really like that? And learning about this, Kinjiro ends up throwing his ring away and he doesn't want to make the deal with Take a Sword anymore, but in the end he ends up coming around. He wants to be with the party people. So right away, our introduction to our Green Ranger, he gets a lot of character development from his first introduction. Like, we learn that he's an old man, he needs to eat eggs to remain young, and not only that, he's given a second chance of life where he gets to live more of a fun life, but it's also a reflection on him leading a brand new life to be not a better person, but to be more of a carefree person in a way. So I do wonder where he's going to go moving forward, because although he's in the body, he's an old man in the body of a young person, he's technically probably like the wisest one on the team if you want to go with old man stereotypes. So there's that going on. Now, in this episode, we also have our Black Ranger making another appearance. She made an appearance at the end of last week's episode, and it looks like she's trying to get some information about her sister Otto, who disappeared for some reason. We don't know why. That's the big mystery behind Sumino's sister, that her sister disappeared, and she's trying to get answers because she is a detective. So she has this scene where she confronts this person in a parking lot who was one of the prosecutors. So it looks like there might have been a murder, and if there was a murder, that's pretty dark, but who knows what they're going to do with that moving forward. Maybe she's alive, and that's going to be the big twist moving forward. So Sumino tries to fight one of these people. They use their ring to turn into Ryuso Red, but Sumino is unable to morph for some reason, and she ends up getting saved by the Don Brothers Prime Minister, who looks like he's got a fair collection of rings, because in last week's episode we saw him with the Jetman ring, and in this week's episode we saw him with the Time Ranger ring, where he makes mincemeat of the guy with the Ryuso Red ring and is easily able to defeat him, and he gets turned into a little vinyl figure, which is kind of funny because it's a callback to Time Force or Time Ranger, where the monsters of the week were defeated, they were turned into those little figures. So that was a nice little reference. But also with our villains, we get to see more of our villains. We get to see Bouquet, who is still obsessed with Rikyo, and she's upset that her poster was ripped up. But then also we're introduced to more Bell villains with personalities, where Fire Candle was bros with one of them. In this week's episode, we get to see this sibling duo, which I guess is a callback to Five Man, because they were siblings in a way as well. So that's probably the callback they were doing. But I like it how these Bell characters are having, or these Bell grunts are having personalities in place, along with the monsters of the week, because I feel like the monsters of the week are really forgettable. It's like, okay, so this monster of the week is a party guy, he's got a party gimmick, he makes a big disco ball, whoop-de-doo. I guess the voice performance that the actors are giving for these Bell grunts make them more lively, and because they have a little bit of personality, I feel like they're more remembered, especially the bromance that Fire Candle had with the previous. So I feel like the monsters of the week, they have cool designs, they look all right, they sound all right, but I feel like it's the grunts that have more of the personality in place. But it looks like that family is the theme of this week's episode, because the Green Ranger Kichiro, we got to see him bonding with his family at the end, but they don't know it's him. But then also you had Horu holding up a picture of his family, which is still a mystery, because we saw Horu have this flashback at the end of episode 1, where there was this lady that was possibly his mother telling him not to make any dreams and not to make any wishes. But also, we learned that the Yellow Ranger's father is a doctor, because they want to find out what the heck is going on with Gijiro. So they're like, or maybe a doctor can figure out. Like, I don't think a doctor can figure out what's going on with this. But overall, this was a really good episode. Like, the fight scene between the Prime Minister Don Brother and the glasses guy Ryusoga was really freaking cool. Like, the fight scenes in this show are really good, really well choreographed. And I really like the fight scenes we get in these episodes. But Gozyuger episode 4, really did enjoy. Like I said, this episode, no camera on today, no camera on tonight, but maybe I'll bring it back later down the line. I'm just testing the footage to see how these reviews will do moving forward, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, take care, and bye.